guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Shamika and this is Cozy Home with Sham. So for today's video, if you've just moved into a new home, a new apartment, or just looking to redecorate your current space, this video is for you. Okay guys, so for today's video, I'm going to be talking about some practical living room essentials that I think you must have in your home that you can also find around my home. So I'm gonna take you on a quick tour and drop some gems. So without further ado, let's get into the video. First off, you guessed it, is a couch, a cozy one. And some of the three most important things that you must consider when choosing your couch is, of course, the size of your space, the size of your family, and the style of your couch. So for my space, as you can see behind me, I chose a very large sectional. I don't have a large family, but I love to entertain, and I also have a very huge space. So the space that my couch is up against is very long and very wide, so I decided to eat up most of that space with the couch. And of course, if you're going for a more minimalistic kind of decor, you don't want a very small couch, because now you're going to run into a lot of problems trying to fill up the space that you should have filled with your couch. And then of course you start to add too many things, and now we have a problem of too much clutter, and you don't want that. Another thing too that you must pay attention to when choosing your couch for your living area is how cozy and how comfortable that couch is. Because on this channel, of course, I'm all about the cozy living, a comfortable lifestyle. So you want to choose something that you can just lounge around in, watch some TV and relax and feel so comfortable and cozy in your space. For a couch, it's all about practicality for me, and it must serve its main function, which is comfort and of course being able to seat your family. And if you're someone that loves to entertain like me, then I suggest the bigger the better. Another practical living room essential: coffee tables. Coffee tables accentuates the room and adds personality and so much character to the space. It is a blank canvas with a perfect opportunity for you to decorate by adding books. You can add candles for ambiance, and of course your favorite floral arrangement that has the potential to brighten up a room. Okay guys, now listen up. Coffee tables should not only act as a decorative piece in your home, but they should also be practical. So if you're a minimalist like myself and you don't like a lot of stuff lounging around on your coffee table, then listen up. Choose one with storage. Let me show you. How amazing! So I was smart enough to go pick out a coffee table with some extra storage, so I can put away my magazines if I choose to put any out, or I can put away my remote and many other stuff that I do not want to see on top of my coffee table. Thank me later. Another cool practical function about a coffee table that has extra storage, or that can pull out like mine, is that it not only serves as extra storage, but if you simply move your candle, your books, and your floral arrangement, then this turns into a desk for a workspace. So if you end up working from home and you're choosing to just lounge in your living room, then this, you just put your laptop down and you're ready to go. Also, if you're just watching a movie and you'd like a table to eat around, this also serves that purpose. So win-win for me. When choosing a coffee table, height is also very important to pay attention to. Your coffee table height should be even with the height of your couch. It shouldn't be too high. Why? Especially if you have an entertainment stand in front of your coffee table like I do in my space. If it's too high, whatever you add to that coffee table, especially if you're going to add a floral arrangement, it's going to be too high and it will end up blocking your view of the television screen. So make sure you pay attention to height. Another important thing to pay attention to when choosing your coffee table is to pay attention to its size. Your coffee table should be proportionate to the size of your couch. It should not be longer than your couch, and it most definitely should not be too small. If your coffee table is too small, then you run the risk of it looking super awkward in the space, because the space basically will be swallowing up your coffee table. So pay attention to the size and ensure it's proportionate to the size of your couch. Okay, now for the shape of your coffee table, that is entirely up to you and your preference, but a pro tip for the people with kids: a round coffee table is your best friend. No sharp corners. Thank me later. So another important decor essential in a living room are lamps. Of course, because they add the right amount of soft, warm, ambient light that adds that cozy, nice feel to your living room. And if you're like me, that have really bright lights overhead in the ceiling, you don't always want that above. So sometimes if you're just getting cozy in front of your TV, this adds the right amount of light, especially if you're just looking to cozy up and read a book. Let me show you. Hit the lights, babe. Alright guys, so without that bright overhead light that I had on just now, I'm just cozied up on my couch with my notebook under some very warm ambient light that my standing lamp is giving me. Also, link is in the bio. Another practical decor essential that must be in your living space are accent chairs. Why? Because it balances out the room, and it also acts as extra seating for guests. And of course, it creates the coziest little corner for you to just sit back, relax, put your feet up, and just enjoy a movie or read a book. By the way, guys, link is in the bio for this beautiful cozy accent chair. The next practical essential around the home that's also a must-have are area rugs. Now, area rugs have the potential to make or break your space, believe it or not. So area rugs are really meant to soften the ground under your feet. They also absorb sounds. Yes, they do. So for those of you with really large living spaces, rugs are your best friend, trust me. And rugs also acts as a connection that basically ties in all the main pieces of furniture in your living room, like your couch, your coffee table, accent chair, and all that jazz. It's basically finishing up the look. Now listen up, guys. Pro tip: rugs should not be too small or too large. They most definitely should not be too large to the point where it extends so far out that it is now touching your TV stand or touching the other end of the wall. That's way too large. It does not need to be that large for the space. Another thing too, it definitely should not be too small. So let me tell you what we're not doing in 2023. Those really tiny rugs that are just small enough for your coffee table to sit on top of it. No, we're not doing that. The proper way to place your area rug is that your couch, the first couple legs on your couch, the front legs, should just barely be sitting on top of your rug, and then extending out just enough to create that balance and visual interest. So not too large, and most definitely not too small. We're not doing that in 2023, okay? There are also a number of other things to consider when choosing your area rug, like color, pattern, texture, and a number of other things, but that's for another video. Alright, listen up guys. This is another important essential for your living room, and it's the never-ending battle between whether or not you choose to install a chandelier for lighting or a fan. for me, of course, I wanted nice, bright lighting for my living room, but I also want it to be very practical. I'm not always going to be using my air conditioning unit, so I wanted a fan. So I opted to get a fan that not only acts as a fan, but there is light in the middle, so I still get what I wanted concerning light, and it functions in terms of giving the room adequate wind or air. Okay, so when you decorate your space, be sure to not only think about aesthetics and how glamorous it's going to look in your space, but it must function, it must be practical. And so I opted to get a fan, and it works pretty well for me, and I get really bright, beautiful lighting from the light that came on the fan. The next important practical home essentials are floor to ceiling drapes or curtains, much like the one I have behind me. And trust me, I do not regret going for nice floor to ceiling drapes instead of blinds, and I'm gonna show you why. So my floor to ceiling drapes acts as a really wonderful source of light control. So at night, I simply just pull on the pulley system that they install to close the thicker drapes to the front, and just to lock out a bit of the eyes, because once light is on the inside, if you only have the sheer drape showing, then of course persons will be able to see from the outside. So I close my drapes at night, and during the daytime, if I want to let in some more light and have my space feel more light, bright and airy, then I simply just pull to open and reveal the nice sheer drapes that is behind. So I'm going to demonstrate a little bit to show you how that works. Alright, so at nighttime I pull to close, and in the daytime, like I said, I pull to open and let in some nice, beautiful, natural lights. A pro tip for drapes or curtains, if that's what you're hanging in your space, is to never hang them or install them at the same height of your windows. Always take them all the way up to the ceiling, because they add so much more height and variation and visual interest to the room. It makes the window looks a lot smaller if you start to hang them from the height of the window. So the next time you hang curtains, bring them a little bit higher and thank me later. Promise you, it's going to elevate your space a lot more. Next, practical living room essentials. Throw pillows, of course, because they add so much coziness and comfort to the space. Pay attention to textures, because those will add lots and lots of visual interest to your overall design of your living room. And you know we can't talk living room practical essentials unless we're about to mention throws. Nice cozy throws for your living room. It adds another layer of design and cool textural visual interest to the room, and of course it keeps you nice and cozy, and for the people who are always cold, it keeps you warm. Last but most certainly not least are TVs and media stands. Of course, for televisions, you have to pay attention to the sizing based on how large your living area is. You don't want too small of a television set for your living room. If you have a really giant size living space, it just does not balance out really well, and you don't want to have too large of a television if your space is super small. It just does not accent well at all. Also, if you won't be utilizing a media stand, you need to also pay attention to the height that you mount your TV. Now, if your couch is really low, then you don't want to mount your TV too high up on the wall, because it's just going to be too uncomfortable to watch. You're going to find yourself looking up quite a lot, and that's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable when it's time to lounge around and watch TV. So put it at a moderate height where you can enjoy relaxing in your living room and watching your favorite show on TV. Media stands are another important essential in your living room because it also helps to tie the look together and just balances everything on out. And of course, if you're not going to mount your TV on the wall, then it serves its main practical function of a place to store your TV. And that's a wrap. That's it for today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it and that you took away some really important tips and helpful tips that you can also use to create a nice, cozy, well-designed living room space for yourself. So don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Please subscribe, guys. Subscribe, and click that notification bell so you get notified the next time I drop a video. Thanks so much for watching again, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.